Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me.
Hi, this is Jan Lewis. Welcome to be my guest. Today we have again on the show, this is great, we have the comedian Jerry Caruso. And he is a local comedian. And Jerry, welcome back.
Nice to be back.
For those of you who haven't seen the other couple of episodes, Jerry, just give us a brief rundown of how you got into comedy. You started as a kid, right out in the yard.
Started as a kid, 7th and 8th grade at a parochial school, which is probably my best stage in the world, because if you think about it,
Yeah,
everybody's there to watch you,
sure.
and your biggest critics are there, the nuns. So, worked out good.
And the nuns didn't mind.
No, because I kept kids out of trouble. They'd stop what they were doing, they'd stop fighting, stop teasing each other, and they'd watch me. So it was really a
That is really
win-win situation. And that was at St. Patrick's and Lynn Elementary School, then junior and senior. A little different in high school at St. Mary's and Lynn, but they tolerated me because I wasn't really doing anything bad. But I'd get everybody's attention, and I'd be on like there'd be like a stairway going, and everybody's always passing by. All right, everybody, and I just started going, and that worked out well for 2 years. And then, I flirted with it here and there until 1980. I third place in a comedy contest, which was fun.
Yeah.
But, it was one of those things you won by applause, and I hardly brought anybody. I always thought it wasn't fair. I always thought if you were funny, you were funny.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't have to bring family and friends, and everybody knew it. And me and the guy that was second, he said he brought 14 people, and I brought like 8 or 9. And the other guy filled the walls were lined with people.
Well, that probably helped you a lot. But you were the better comedian, right?
Yeah. So considering, and that lasted for like a year, and then that was 1980, and then it took me to 1993 to say, okay, I'm going to do it, and I stuck with it, and here I am, and up.
Here you are. After you left high school, what did you do after that?
Well, I went to college, and I played around with North Shore Community College. I would say 7 of the best years of my life, because it's community college.
Yeah. What'd you major in?
I majored in accounting, believe it or not.
Well, that's quite... I would think usually people who are comedians don't have a great mathematical skill, but you do?
I did okay with it. I passed courses. I found out who the easy professors were. Sorry, North Shore. I knew who they were.
They were easy? Oh.
But I knew who the ones were good to you, one-on-one, or a very loose atmosphere, and I capitalized on that. Because I got to do comedy there, too. So
yeah, the South Shore, was it the South Shore or North Shore College?
North Shore.
North Shore.
So North Shore Community College in Beverly.
You majored in accounting.
But I changed my mind shortly thereafter.
Then what happened?
So what happened was one of my favorite professors, I didn't go to say favorite teachers, there's probably like 3. One's a nun and 2 are lay teachers. This teacher was Helen Peters, and she worked with Mr. Rogers.
Oh, the beloved Mr. Rogers?
Yeah.
Oh.
She actually worked with him. I don't know if she's director, producer. She was one of those, and she worked with him. She goes, Jerry, the man is like that on the camera and off the camera. And I'm like, I definitely believe it.
Yeah.
And she said to me, what are you doing here? Because I did a one-on-one with her.
Yeah.
I took her for English literature, Helen Peters, sweetheart, she's from Byfield. I don't know how I know these things. Like the Rain Man, stuff will pop out of me. And you'll say, like, huh? And she always said to me, what's your major? I go, accounting. She goes, accounting?
Yeah.
You? Accounting? No. You know where I see you? I go, what? On a stage.
Yes.
And that was back in 73 and 74 when I had her as an instructor.
Yeah.
And I kind of half listened. I met some woman in college. Sorry, honey. I'm not with her anymore. Tell her but I met this girl, Debbie, in college, and her and I want to try out for a theatrical group. Yeah. We went to see a one-man play, and we said either acting or comedy or what have you, and we went to the first 2 auditions, and then we chickened out, and in and out I was doing things, but never anything seriously. And then finally, well, like I said, I won't call it a failed try. It was I gave up try because everybody stopped coming to see me.
Right. Yeah.
Like, okay, we saw your show. Yeah, but I'm going to go again. Yeah, but you're going to do the same thing. I go, well, maybe I'll get better.
Yeah.
No, you won't. You're going to be the same. But, one of those things. And then when 93, I was at Digital Equipment Corporation in Hudson, And I was on a dare, like, if you go on Nick's, we're going to follow you on Nick's. And that spurred me on to call Nick's.
That's up near Nick's Comedy Shop?
Yeah.
That's in Boston,
In
right?
Boston, yeah.
That's where, who's he? He played Mr. Mayor on, remember Jerry Williams' show?
Yeah, that was Steve Sweeney.
Steve Sweeney.
Oh.
He's still around, too, you said.
Oh, God, yeah.
He is funny. He sounded just like the mayor. Some guy called into Jerry, and Jerry had to cover from the person, just like the layman that called in, said, I don't really think this is the mayor. Is this real? Jerry said, you got on the boat a little late.
He did sound it, too.
He was so...
He did a lot of Kevin White.
Yep.
And Steve Sweeney was, and still is, master of all the accents.
Yeah.
Dorchester, Southie, Eastie, Roxbury, he'd go to all the downtown Boston, he'd do everything. And I got to work with him a ton of times. And
Yeah.
he's one of my favorite people to work with.
So in '93, you went into comedy.
Mm-hmm.
No, but that can be hard to make a living. What were you doing while you did that?
Not accounting.
No.
Actually, IT, like,
IT, yeah.
computers, like help desk, tech support, stuff like that. And I still do it because I like it.
Yeah.
Because that's my stage too. I joke around with people where I fix their problems.
Yeah.
Or I make them forget their problems because I'm so funny. I walk away. They're like, he didn't fix the problem, but he was funny.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You must lighten the mood at work.
Oh, I have to, yeah.
No.
Because there have been so many places I work at where you could cut the tension with a knife. And then I come along and be like, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Typical time. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
And everybody be doing it back.
Yeah.
And there were some upper management people, who I won't mention, who said, I didn't like him here. He made everybody too loosey-goosey. And that's what one guy,
Real
quote
rigid.
unquote, said.
Yeah.
He did not like that. And, again, workplace became my stage tour. I try out jokes, try out voices, or try out anything. And it worked out really, really well.
Yeah.
Because it was good proving ground for me. Then as I went into Nick's or Dick Doherty's clubs or Paul Wayne had Boston Comedy Company, it was an easier transition.
Yeah.
Some girl from Oakham, Shirley McAfee, really gave me, besides Nick's, she gave me a push, more of a start. She was and she still is, like an entertainer who does, I think her show is called Metamorphosis. And before your eyes, she'd change into like Bette Midler, Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
She put on a wig and did,
Yeah.
take off a layer of dresses, and then it was another dress. And she was really talented.
Yeah.
Patsy Cline. She did a whole bunch of things.
Yeah.
She goes, my show is so long that if I break it and put you in the middle and make people laugh, it'd be perfect.
Yeah.
So she would give me 5 to 15 minutes.
Sure.
And back then, that was an eternity to me because, just starting, it's like, you're like, oh my God, 5
Yeah.
minutes, how long is that? You keep looking at your watch. I stopped doing that.
Sure.
And then 15 minutes became easier as time went on. She let me do that for probably about 6 months to a year, but it was a big help. And then I went into the clubs and did my thing. And
We're talking with Jerry Caruso, and he is a local comedian, and boy, he's been doing some interesting... Tell us about the Netflix, the movie Karma. What happened?
So Karma, back in, I'd say 2015, 2016, you can look it up. You can YouTube Karma, the series, and it's based in Fitchburg, Mass., which is close to me because I'm in Gardner, a couple towns down. It was about 2 girls that passed, and they went to heaven. One became a white angel, one was a black angel, like good and bad, and they were trying to fight over how to help people. But in the meantime, I was involved I was a news reporter for a local station, and I'm joking around. I was the cameraman joking around with the news reporter, reporting about a fire, and we were in their house that got burnt, like the vinyl siding got burnt.
Yeah.
Typical Fitchburg. No, I'm kidding. And it was like, she reported on it, and I go, how come this bad? Because they told me, roll with it, just make conversation. I go, what do you want me to say? Whatever you want. And I go, how come no good news? And the girl goes, well, good news doesn't sell. It's always bad news. I go, news. Everything's about news. Am I correct? They go, yeah, everyday life.
So you sort of had to go off the seat of your pants.
Yeah. And so then I said, news. Ha! My mother-in-law, I love her dearly. She's in her 90s, and she's always saying, did you hear this on the news? I go, hey, I am the news.
Yeah.
This is all I do is news.
Yeah.
And she's laughing. She put her arm around me. She goes, let's go. We get another story to cover. And that was like a 5-minute bit, almost like a 5-minute conversation.
Yeah.
And they liked it. And then they said, we're going to do more with you. And by the time we started thinking of ideas. One of my ideas was like two of the main characters that were involved, not involved, but either one was an eyewitness of the death, like some car struck a girl, and he was tired, and it wasn't like he did it on purpose. And he's talking to a girl. He goes, "Come on, what are you watching?" And she's watching TV, and I had a vision of me being on TV, having my own cable show. Hey, is that the reporter? You're watching him? Come on, let's go. We got things to do. He makes no sense. And so they liked that idea, and it never came to fruition because shortly thereafter we found out there was a halt to the production.
And this was filmed where, was it, Jerry?
All in Fitchburg. Like, the general area of Fitchburg, Leominster, Boylston, like that whole northwestern county of northern Worcester County. And it was like, they did stuff, and they had drones flying around, so when they panned it, like if you saw the scene, like if you YouTube Karma, the series, I think, and you'll see it, or I'll send it to you, and you'll look at it like, wow, this is professional.
But how did they find you?
One of my friends was a cop, and it's ironic. We do murder mystery together, and I'm the cop, and he's always the bad guy. And now he was a cop, and I was just a regular guy, and he goes, "Oh, just go see these two people, Stephanie and this guy," and they liked me, and they fell in love with me, and they said, "Okay, well, we got a spot for you, and we'll go from there because we maybe grow into multiple spots." And they liked my ideas,
and that's how you got in.
Yeah, and they liked the personality.
But then you went through all that,
and plus the money, I bribed them. No, I'm kidding.
No, but it went kaput after all it worked.
Yeah,
how
it's sad. Because if you look at the trailer, you'd be like, "Wow, this looks really good."
Yeah.
About two girls that passed away, good angel, bad angel, and they're trying to figure out how it happened, and then the bad angel's telling the good angel, "You don't have to be so good." It lumped into different stories, which is really good. So if you look at the trailer, you'd be like, "Wow, this looks organized. There's love, there's death, there's action, there's intrigue, there's homicide, there's all kinds of stuff." And all of a sudden, I said, "How's it going?" "Oh, well, we don't know where that's going to go." There was a disagreement between this guy and this guy, and the guy just picked up his toys and said, "I'm going home," or something like that.
That was it?
It's too bad.
Jerry, how can they reach you if they'd like to have you come on board as a comedian?
They can reach me. Oh, God. Facebook. I'm always on Facebook. I answer everything on Facebook. Jerry Caruso, Jerry with a J, Caruso, Caruso. Or they could, I'm on my website, terrible website, www.jerrygcarusocomic.webs.com. Way too long. Too many Jerry Carusos out there. I'm dead serious.
So, Jerry, what's coming up? Or where have you been? Where have you been appearing?
Well, recently, one of the most exciting things is I was in a movie called Poor Paul. So my good friend Adam Carbone, who's an actor, and he's done Randy's Canvas, which is a great film they did, like an independent film about a young adult dealing with autism and trying to function everyday life.
Yeah, that's a movie out now.
It's phenomenal. He did great. I think he did it like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
We did a red carpet thing to push it throughout this area, but because of COVID and everything else, everything took a halt. But so he recommended me to this movie called Poor Paul, about a young adult that inherits money, and they want to make sure he's okay and knows how to spend the money right.
Right.
And it's like a gangster comedy where the mob is involved, like the mafia, and the Chinese mafia is involved. You name it. So they asked me to play one role. They go, "We want you to be part of the mob." I go, "Is it because I'm Italian?" They said, "Yeah." I go, "I'm your man."
Yeah.
So I did it, and I had to stand there during a wedding. So they're getting ready to do the wedding and the rehearsal, and I'm standing there just like in sunglasses, like a typical Italian mafia look, like the black shirt, dark gray jacket, the white tie. I stand out. I stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
And I stand there, and I'm trying to watch things, keep an eye on things, while my other two guys that I work for are on the side somewhere. Out of the clear blue comes someone from some ninja, karate chops me, knocks me out. I fall on the ground. I make a noise. I moan and groan, and then they run away. But then when they run away, they're trying to scare the crowd and trying to find the bride and the fiance and all this stuff. And they kept going to different scenes, and they did a good job.
Yeah.
Our take took 4 times, so I was there from 2 o'clock to like near 8 o'clock. So for 6 hours, I did one scene. There was 4 takes. Then they asked me after I got the karate chop, and mind you, I was karate chopped by a 13-year-old girl. Come on, how more embarrassing can it be? She was half my size, but anyway, she was cute and whatever. So I did my thing, but then I had to keep falling on the ground. With arthritic knees, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I kept doing it. I learned how to break my fall.
Yeah.
And someone thought I hit this rock, because there's this rock beside me, but I use it as like a leaning point to ease my fall. Someone
Yeah.
goes, I thought you hit your head in a rock. I go, no, you wouldn't hear me doing take 4 and take 5. I would have been saying something else that made no sense.
Yeah.
And so for that 6 hours I invested in, I probably like a minute into the movie. After I did the karate chop, they go, we're going to do you over. Of course, I had to do that 2 or 3 times,
Yep.
and had to make a like one of those noises. That's it. Can I say something? Nope. That's all you're going to say.
That's all you got.
So I did that, fell to the ground, but 3 more times, probably like 7 takes totally, made the moaning groan sounds. And also they did an interesting thing. They took 2 shots of us to maybe make it for the cover photo for the movie, which is coming out in the spring, supposedly, at theaters, called Poor Paul. There's someone of great recognition in that movie that's been in so many shows, and I can't think of his name offhand because I didn't get to meet him, I think. I might have met him quickly.
Yeah.
But my friend Adam Carbone's in it. He's a great young actor. Does a lot in L.A. He did Randy's Canvas. He does all these podcasts. We do a show together. We've done 3 shows called Squib TV, and we just do off-the-wall stuff. Nothing lewd and rude. We talk politics, we talk about the country, we talk about celebrities, we do all kinds of stuff.
Jerry does really. His humor is. It's good for family. I mean, it's
Yeah.
I know that you do a really great. Your mom must be a real gem. She must be so patient. You shared with us some funny things about Mom and you.
She's at home now, but she's on the grid here in Newburyport. Slight dementia, it comes and goes, but it's sad but she's 96.
She's
So
young.
she's
96 years young.
yeah.
I have a friend who's
that's what I say.
99.
And she, every time I go in there, she's like got everything that you want.
Yeah.
She goes, go on the top of the drawer. This is the fruit. Take a 3 pieces of fruit. You need more? I give you the bag. I go, what bag? Where do you get a bag?
Yeah.
You go to second drawer, we got the cookie. Any kind of cookie. You like it the Oreo, you like it the Lorna Doone, or you like it the chocolate chip. Don't eat too much chocolate chip. I like it those. I go, where are you getting this?
Yeah.
Third drawer had all candy in it. Every kind of candy bar you want. I
In
go,
her room?
Yeah. I go, where do you get these? I get them here. I go, she's like the mafia. She's like running the whole place.
Yeah.
I was looking for utensils and napkins and tablecloths. She goes, no, that's in the other bureau. No, I'm just kidding. She didn't say that. But she is a gem to the fact that every once in a while it's really like a breakthrough when you get them to talk.
Yeah.
Out of the clear blue, she kept saying like things like she was quoting my dad who passed away before her. She looked at me. She goes, "No bargain." I go, "What are you talking about?" But that's what my dad
You
used
wanted
to
to
say
banter
about
back and forth with the
people. Yeah. So I started bantering back and forth, and so I said, "All right, Teresa, I gotta go." She goes, "You gotta go?" And she hardly would talk, and she'd listen more than anything. And she said out of the clear blue, she goes, "Jenny boy," because I'm Jerry Boy to her.
Yeah.
She says, "I love you." I go, "Back at you." And my wife nudges me. I go, "All right, I love you too."
Yeah. Well, wait a minute. You call your mother by her first name?
Just there, because sometimes I call her Ma,
Yeah.
and sometimes they call her Teresa, so I'll say it jokingly to her.
Yeah.
And she's like, I says, "How you doing?" She goes, "I get married." I go, "No, you're not getting married." She goes, "This is my boyfriend and there." And a young aide there. I go, "You going after the young?" She goes, "Well, why not?"
She really has a guy she likes in there?
She likes them all.
Oh my God.
She plays them all. She's amazing. She's on a wonderful care, and they all love her because she pipes up like any Italian woman. When we had Christmas over my grandmother's downstairs, go figure, an Italian household, we're in a whole building. Really?
Yeah.
No kidding. That's a tough stretch.
Yeah.
And she goes, "You better listen to your grandmother," And I go, and my grandmother couldn't speak one word of English. All she say is, "Take her to meet the ball." I said, "Oh, all right." So I have one, and then I tell her, "Grandma, I don't feel good, because I might have ate too much." She goes, "Have it a sausage." I go, No, but I got a headache too. Have it a pasta. Everything you had ailing, food was the
Food
cure.
would cure it.
Food was the cure.
Why, I grew up in such a different environment.
My ankle hurt. Have a lasagna. Is that good for you? That's what they say. They'd be just like
Okay,
that.
are you allowed to say no?
No. You can't leave the table. There's a scale at the end of the table. You have 10-pound minimum. You have to gain at least 10 pounds before you leave. I'm telling you.
This was your grandmother, right?
Oh, she's brutal. God rest her soul, but she was really good.
And how many? Were you the only? I forgot. The only child?
3. My sister's like 7 or 8 years younger, or and my mother would call her. She's a mistake. I go, oh my God, why do you
don't
say
do
that in front
yeah.
of her? Yeah.
Surprise is a better word.
But yeah, that's what she meant. But her
Yeah.
vocabulary was limited.
Yeah.
She was, but then she said, to me, then my brother was a year older.
Yeah.
My brother made me laugh a lot more than I made him. I made him
funny?
laugh, but
He's
he
comedian?
should have went into comedy. He's very funny, very sharp.
He is in comedy?
No, he should be.
But what does he do?
He was a fireman for over 30, probably 35 years. God
Yeah.
bless him. And then he's retired. He has a job where he works for an Audi
Yeah.
dealer and drives around
Yeah.
people. But
We're talking with Jerry Caruso, and he is a local comedian. Jerry, if they would like to have you come on board, do a show, how do they reach you?
look at the post office. My picture's always hanging.
It's right there.
Kidding. There's email to Jerry with a J _ Caruso CARUSO @hotmail.com. I'm on LinkedIn too under Jerry Caruso. Facebook under Jerry Caruso. My website jerrygcarusocomic.webs.com. I don't know my own website.
That's a mouthful right there.
And now all of a sudden we touched on clean.
Yeah.
I just picked up a job. I'm doing Immaculate Heart of Mary Church in Winston. They have an Italian night. Oh my God!
You're going to be doing comedy at the church?
Downstairs. They won't let me upstairs. And then I'm doing in Westboro, St.
Oh.
Luke's.
Yes, I go there for a little group. Yeah.
I'm there in November.
For what though? What is
Comedy. They want me to do comedy.
There's going to be a big thing for people to get tickets.
Yeah, I have to talk to them. I'm sure they have an event page, but it's I think it's November 6th. And then the 13th, I'm at Our Lady Immaculate in Gardner. We're doing a show to benefit a housing management group where we raise money for families.
Yeah.
So they can stay temporarily in an apartment. It's really
Why all
cool.
the churches?
I don't know, because I'm Catholic, because I'm Italian. I don't know what it is.
This is good. Now, where else are you appearing though?
Let's see. The 15th of this month, I'm at in Fitchburg at the Knights of Columbus. We're doing a show for Mission 22 against veteran suicide. I'm doing the National Association of Activity Professionals. I'm speaking out there. I'm giving a webinar on laughter as the best medicine.
Yes.
You're going to give me an hour? I go, you guys will regret it. They go, no, we want you.
No, they want you.
Because I interviewed a person from the Elisa Tag, and she's a wonderful person. And she goes, I got to have you sign up for this and for the conference in Minnesota that I signed up for.
Yeah.
So they're reviewing the paperwork or the files that I submitted, so I might be able to do that too.
Yeah.
But that one's in October. I think it's the 19th or the 26th. I got to look it out. I got a lot of people I interview on Zooms, and then I got another show for a girl battling cancer in Hudson at a place that used to be Valentino's, Hudson, New Hampshire. Now it's something else.
Hudson, New Hampshire, not Hudson.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
People ask me, when are you going to be around here? I go, every time I'm around here, they say, oh, I can't make it. Oh, I wish that was Saturday instead of Friday. I go, I told you Friday. And then they go, where are you next? I go, I'm up in Maine, or I'm down in Rhode Island. They go, oh.
You know what would be really cool is, we probably talked about it before, but places like UMass Memorial.
Love it.
Places that, where you can get in or like at a Dana-Farber. I know they have some guitarists, they had a pianist.
Yeah, my friend's trying to get me in there. This girl, Mary Baker, her daughter works at Dana-Farber, and she says, send me everything, and we'll go from there. And I tell them, look, if they're really, hesitant because of COVID and stuff like that, virtual. Just do virtual, whether you have everybody in one room or have a Zoom, people can log in. Don't turn off their microphones. I like when people say to me, we'll mute our microphones. I go, why? I want to hear you laugh.
Yeah.
I
Definitely.
can't see smiling faces.
Of course.
But
when you get out of the stage, Jerry, you were sharing before that you can, I've heard about this before, where actors can get out and kind of like get a feel for the audience.
Easy. Yep. Easy.
You know, remember The King and I?
Yeah.
Okay, Yul Brynner, who played the king,
Yep.
he used to throw up before every,
Isn't that
and then he
something?
would go and sit near the curtain and kind of check out the audience.
Yeah.
He seems so in control and
Isn't that
selfish.
crazy?
You know that the actress, the famous actress who played Anna in The King and I, is buried right up here, Gertrude Lawrence,
Oh my
right
God.
here in Upton.
Oh my God.
She only died, when it premiered in New York, she died very shortly after.
Wow.
She collapsed. And that was it. She was only 52. She died.
Wow.
Then they brought her up to Upton.
The only similarity that I have with Yul Brynner is people used to throw up when they'd see me act instead of me throwing up. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I couldn't picture it. I'm thinking he seems so.
Isn't that crazy? There are a lot of people that I know, actors, actresses,
Yeah.
comedians, musicians, that get really nervous right beforehand. And some of them I know will ask me, they go, how come you don't get nervous? I go, because I'm waiting to get on stage. And
Yeah.
half the time, or more than half the time, I'd say all of the time, there we go, I'm the headlining act, so I have to wait till people accumulate probably a half hour
Sure.
to 45 minutes of time, and I'm chomping at the bit saying, okay, I gotta get out there now. Oh, I can't, he's not done,
Yeah.
she's not done yet. But it's
Somebody
like,
once asked me that about years ago when I came into broadcasting. He says, "Don't you get nervous, Jan?" And I think I completely floored him. I went, "Not really." He said, "You've got to be kidding me." I said, "No, I enjoy doing it. It's not stressful to me that much in a bad way."
Yeah.
And he don't understand the concept that it's fun in a way for some people.
It is fun. It is fun.
Yeah.
It's just that some people get that way. Even new comedians that I teach. This girl, Jenny Freeman, she's got talent. She's been doing it for a year. I keep giving her opportunities, and there are others too. And I just say, like, just try to embrace it. And when you go up there, talk like we're talking now.
Exactly.
Like, just say, hey, how you doing? Hey,
Hey,
I
these
gotta tell you something.
These people put their underwear on this morning, the same as you do.
They're no different.
And there might be few out there that aren't feeling good, but they want, really,
Yeah.
they're just other. That's how it helped me so much. Like,
Yep.
I don't have to get up here and be worried about it if I was on stage. But I wish that I had known that back in high school. I would have gone for the lead in the plays.
That's
I didn't
me
have
too.
that confidence yet.
Yeah, that's me too.
I was in the plays, but in the background.
Yeah. Well, look at me. Like, so comedy, it took me till I was outside of when I flirted with it earlier, it took me till I was 38 to get into it and finally say like that. And then I said to myself, oh my God, had I stayed there when I was 1980, that would have been 25, that would have been the ideal age. I don't regret it, but I always think, like, imagine if I did that.
Jerry
I did.
Caruso, who's been our guest today.
Hey.
We got to end the show, but we could go on for hours.
I told you. So the movie Poor Paul comes out next year, supposedly,
So
in the spring.
all right.
It'll be in theaters.
Okay.
Check me out for the minute or 30 seconds. I doubt I'm going to make the cutting floor because they need me. But you never know.
Contact him because I think you're pretty open to traveling, right? Around
Oh,
New
God,
England?
yeah. Oh, God.
There
yeah.
you go. Great comedian for an event you're having, business, or I don't know, any kind of event. Want a great comedian. There you go. Jerry.
And I'll find you one.
Yeah. Thank you for being with us again.
Thank you so
We'll
much.
bring him back again.
A lot of fun.
All
Lot
right.
of fun, as always.
We'll see you next time. I'll be my guest.
Take care. Good night. God bless.
Riding on a shooting star, heading out toward a dream. Tomorrow's even closer than it seems.